Welcome once again back to the lab. It is your old Professor Pilk, and we found out yesterday what our new raid is going to be, and it is the Kick Chicken himself, Blaziken. This is actually pretty awesome. But let me just kind of say real quick before we get into this. I love that we're continuing with the raids. I really wish we were adding more to the Pokedex every time. I kind of like it would be awesome if it was like an update every single time. If it's not going to be an update, then give us shiny rates, especially on mon like this, like starters. Just give us shiny rates in the raids. It's. I get why last year it wasn't a thing. Okay, it made total sense, right? But most of the mon we're getting at this point, they're out there. So give us like an increased shiny rate. Give us some reason to do the raid beyond the mightiest mark. Like I'm gonna do it, obviously, and I'm gonna get the mightiest mark, and it's fun, but it's starting to lose its luster. Yeah, maybe that's just me, but just making that little kind of criticism, I guess you could say. Now, there are people that won't have Blaziken and that are looking forward to this. So obviously, that is completely a thing. And if that's how certain people feel, that's completely legitimate. I get that. But personally, me, I'm really like kind of hoping for more later on. But nevertheless, let's go ahead and get into this, okay? So, Mighty Blaziken. What is this dude's raid going to look like? What moves will Blaziken be bringing to the table? Now, first things first, you could bet that there will probably be some special attacks in here. We have physical attack 120 and special attack 110. So there's a high likelihood that some early special attacks will probably take place. Now, the reason I think it's mostly going to be physical is because if you really look at status effects, Swords Dance and Bulk Up are two of your biggest potential buffs, but also mixed in there's Feather Dance, which can lower your defensive strategy. So there's a lot of reasons why physical attacks are most likely going to be absolutely terrifying, especially by the midpoint of the battle, A, and B, you're really going to have to focus on your defense. So we probably see a couple of special attacks, but it won't be a big feature of this raid. Now, first things first, he is going to have a flying Tera type. I don't think I mentioned that before, but he is going to have a flying Tera type, and that means that you're really looking at rock, ice, or electric as super effective moves. Now, as always, there is the potential they could close up every single one of these, and I'll kind of cover that possible scenario here. But I'll also cover what I think is really going to happen. Now, first things first, moveset-wise, on top of having Feather Dance, Swords Dance, and Bulk Up, you also got to figure Sunny Day's in play, so any kind of fire move is going to be absolutely brutal. Plus, obviously it's going to have Stab. You also have Focus Energy, so there's a high probability that you will see a lot of critical hits. But we haven't seen Focus Energy used in these raids, so that might not be a thing. Though I did notice Sand Attack is an option here, and Sand Attack lowering your accuracy was going to make this a real pain in the butt. I don't think Focus Energy or Sand Attack will be used, but they're potentially there. Remember, you're going to have 4 main moves and then four backup moves, which are usually status moves. And I kind of feel like probably Feather Dance and Swords Dance, maybe Bulk Up, but definitely Sunny Day. Sunny Day, Swords Dance or Bulk Up and Feather Dance are definitely going to be there. And then we'll probably have another move or something just to close up some weaknesses. Now, move-wise, Blaziken's definitely going to be there. It's a 1-10 attack. It is only an 80% accuracy, but being a physical fire attack with Stab, it's going to hurt badly. This has a really high probability of being in the lineup. I kind of feel like it's just a no-brainer to have that there. Plus, it's a signature move, and the signature moves are almost always included. Now, Blaziken could be part of one of those extra 4 moves, but I kind of think it's going to be one of those like main moves in the repertoire. Sunny Day will bulk it up, Bulk Up will bulk it up, Sword's Dance will bulk it up, and Feather Dance will make it a harder hit, being that it's going to lower your defensive strategy. So it just makes sense. There's no reason why they wouldn't include that. Okay. Flamethrower is another option. It says 70% accuracy up there. I think it's 100% accuracy. I think I just messed up when I was putting it in the status there. But it is a power 80 move. I'm going to skip over Solar Beam for now. I'll come back and talk about that. I'm going to move down to the fighting moves because he is a fire fighting type. So you can guarantee there will be at least Blaze Kick, if not Flamethrower, maybe a couple other fire moves. The reason I put Flamethrower on there is because it is a special move. But, being that he's going to most likely reduce your defense and increase offense, I don't know if Flamethrower will actually be a thing. It might be an early move or something. I really feel like Blaziken is going to be the main fire DPS. Now, close up that fire weakness, you still have to deal with fighting. Now, Aura Sphere is an option, and that is, once again, a special move. So it would be like an early move, but I really feel like physical moves are going to be more prevalent. You've got an option of low sweep, which will lower your speed, which actually isn't a bad thing because Blaziken seems like a fast mon, but it isn't a particularly speedy mon. Like at speed 80, it's like average in the speed range. So low sweep could be a thing. We've seen low kick before, and we've also seen close combat before being a 120 move with only 85% accuracy. That actually could be the case. It would be very, very scary. It's a physical move. It's a fighting move. It's a high power move. It's going to have stab. It's going to hurt a lot. Now, those are the fire and fighting moves that I see happening here. Now, you pretty much bet that we are going to see a flying move. Okay, and so I put 2 flying physical moves here. Number 1, Acrobatics. Acrobatics is a base 55 power, but when your opponent is not holding an item, it doubles in power. So that becomes a 110 power move. 110 power with 100% accuracy, being physical, with all the other buffs, is going to be ridiculously terrifying. That is going to be a scary, scary, scary move. Now, I also put Brave Bird up there, but I really feel like Acrobatics is most likely going to be the one. Brave Bird is a little bit more powerful, but it has a huge drawback in recoil damage. They could put that up there to kind of nerf this fight a little bit, but I really do feel like Acrobatics is most likely going to be the one you're going to go by. Now, here's the deal. You want to use Rock, Ice, or Electric for super effective attacks, but fire means that ice is off the table. Fighting takes both rock and ice off the table. Flying actually takes grass, flying, and fighting off the table, but doesn't take away any of her super effective attacks. Now, fighting has a lot of moves are weak to fighting. So it also takes dark, steel, and normal off the table, where fire also takes grass, bug, and steel off the table. So you have a lot of potential weaknesses here. But here's the deal with this. Notice that nothing is taken electric off of the table. The only one that really does, in the entire repertoire that I was able to go through here, to being egg moves, being TMs, being all that, the only one I could really think of off the top of my head that is possible is Solar Beam, which is a grass move. It's a 120 power, but it is a special attack, so it's not really gonna rely. Any of the buffs that he potentially could do aren't really gonna do anything for that, and it is powerful. But I don't find it terribly likely. I kind of feel like Solar Beam's most likely going to be there. Solar Beam does get rid of... Or I'm sorry, not Solar Beam. I'm sorry. Solar Beam gets rid of rock, ground, and water. The one that's really scary is Bulldoze and Earthquake. Bulldoze being a power of 60, but really more than that, Earthquake being a power of 100. Now, these don't have stab, but they are physical. That means if they're buffed up, it's going to be mega terrifying. That gets rid of rock once again. Also steel once again. Fire, poison, and electric. Now, Earthquake has a high probability of being there. Or, if not, Bulldoze definitely does. Both are physical moves. They kind of cull that final opening in the in your repertoire. I was thinking grass earlier, then I happened to realize I'm like, no, it was the ground, not the grass. So if Bulldoze or Earthquake, or any other ground move for that matter, but I think those are the two most likely candidates, if they're in his build repertoire, then you've got to find something else. You know, Ghost does, well, actually, no, I take it back. Ghost is not an option on that one. I don't think actually Ghost would be effective there. Flying is open. Dragon actually is open. But here's the real reason that I kind of don't feel like Bulldoze or Earthquake are going to be there. And that's because Miraidon. Electric Dragon. You have a lot of options available with Miraidon. Now, I really got to build that mon out, but I kind of don't feel like Bulldoze or Earthquake are to be there, but we need to be prepared just in case. But even then, we still have the dragon moves with Miraidon. We just have some, super effective move against his electric type. But, I actually come to think about it, I don't know, honestly, if because I don't think the dragon typing would change that. I think it would still be super effective. So actually, no, Miraidon may actually be off the table. He may have to use a pure dragon at that point. But we'll see. I'll build a few mon. We'll come back. We'll talk about them tomorrow. But for now, this is what you need to prepare for. So like, comment, and share. I'll be back with some build recommendations for you guys based on what we assume to be the case here coming up really soon.